Yeah, we're limited in our recording ability. I don't know if what happened to that recording, and we may not get a recording today, but anyway. So, Revelation chapter 19, verses 11 to 21. And I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his heads were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of Yahweh. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treadeth the fierceness, he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Al Shaddai. And he had on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And I saw an angel standing in the sun. And he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls. Notice again the fowls. We're seeing that again. We saw this. We're going to see this in Ezekiel. He's saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come, gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great God, that you may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. And I saw, watch this, verse 19, we read this earlier, and I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies, gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. There you go. So there's a war. Armies against armies. And the beast was taken. That word taken means captured. And with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, and with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that had worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire, burning with brimstone. And the remnant were slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh. Now, brothers and sisters, the beast and the false prophet are not one person. They're not two individual people. They are groups of people. In other words, all the religious leaders that you're seeing today are going to be captured, gathered together, and cast into a lake of fire. Because everything on this earth today is about Asatan receiving worship. And his most powerful agents in this endeavor are people that are of religious persuasion. So you're going to see religious leaders leading the charge and trying to take the New Jerusalem. They're going to be failing in their endeavor, and they're going to be destroyed. And you're going to see them first, the religious leaders, all of them, Protestant, Catholic, cast into a lake of fire. Islamic, Buddhist, Hindu. You're going to see all of them. The leaders that are leading the people in this charge against the city. Destroyed. Destroyed. This is the first resurrection. It's what we're going to see. It's what's coming first. We're going to the second resurrection tomorrow, but let's read Ezekiel chapter 39. And let's finish this part. Ezekiel chapter 39. So we've studied the land itself that the Most High has said he always has his eye on. We've studied the resurrections, 2 resurrections. We've studied the first resurrection in some detail. We've seen the difference between chapter 38 and 39. So we know now chapter 39 is the first resurrection. And I want you to notice a lot of similarities with what we read in Zechariah, what we read in Revelation 19, and what we're reading here in chapter 39. Notice what it says. Ezekiel 39, I'm going to begin at verse 1 and read down from verse 1 down to verse 7. Ezekiel 39, 1 to 7. Thank you, Isha. Therefore, thou son of man, prophesy against Gog, and say, Thus saith the Most High Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. And I will turn thee back and leave but the sixth part of thee. And I will cause thee to come up from the north parts, and will bring upon thee the mountains, and will bring thee upon the mountains of Israel. And I will smite thy bow out of thy left hand, and will cause thy arrows to fall out of thy right hand. And thou shalt fall upon the mountains of Israel, thou and all thy bands, and all the people that is with thee. I will give thee, watch this, unto the ravenous birds of every sort, and to the beasts of the field to be devoured. See, that's like Revelation chapter 19. Thou shalt fall upon the open field, for I have spoken it, saith the Most High Yahweh. And I will send a fire on Magog among them that dwell carelessly in the isles, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. So will I make my holy name known in the midst of my people Israel. I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore. And the heathen shall know that I am Yahweh, the set apart one of Israel. See? So he's saying there's going to be heathen that recognize who he is and recognize who his people are and be delivered. And that's why the Bible says, let's compare very quickly, Revelation chapter 21. Revelation chapter 21. Revelation 21. And again, this is going to go with what we read also in Zechariah 14 and what we read also in Revelation 19 and what we read also now in Ezekiel chapter 39. Notice again, from verse, talking about the city, from verse 22 down to verse 27, notice when it talks about the nations, the word nations is heathen. Again, Revelation chapter 21 from verse 22 down to verse 27. We'll come right back to Ezekiel 39, Isha. So, be ready for that. Notice what it says. And I saw no temple therein, for Yahweh Al Shaddai and the Lamb are the temple of it. And the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon to shine in it. See, this is what we read in Zechariah 14. For the glory of Yahweh did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof. And the nations of them which are saved. This is the sixth part of the heathen that he's mentioning in chapter 39. The nations, the word nations, is heathen or Gentiles. And the Gentiles, or the heathen of them which are saved, shall walk in the light of it. And the kings of the earth, that is, again, the nations, do bring their glory and honor into it. That's Isaiah 60 also. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there. And they shall bring the glory and honor, again, of the nations, that is, the Gentiles, into it. And there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life. So you can see, brothers and sisters, by this, again, there'll be Gentiles redeemed. That is, those Gentiles have already started, their numbers have already started now. Some of us are here. People that are Gentiles that are receiving this truth are among the ones that they're talking about here in Revelation chapter 21. Also in Ezekiel chapter 39, when he talks about, I'm going to leave a sixth part of you. Okay. Also, there are Gentiles in the past that have been ignorant. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. I mean, ignorant in terms of just not knowing the truth. People that have been alive during the Middle Ages that only knew the Catholic Church and are trying to follow the truth, or were trying to follow the truth. Many were killed for following the truth. Many millions murdered for following the truth, or the truth as they knew it. They also will have a place in the kingdom. And most of them European. Okay? So the nations of them that are saved represents the sixth of the Gentile population that's going to be redeemed. But that's chapter 39. Let's go back to chapter 39 and notice again he says about the rest of them, he says they're going to be devoured by ravenous birds. Again, that's going with what we read in chapter 19 of the book of Revelation. Okay, what we're reading here. Ezekiel chapter 39. Ezekiel 39 from verse 8 down to verse 14. Ezekiel 39, 8 to 14. Notice what it says. Behold, it is come. It is done. saith the Most High Yahweh. This is the day whereof I have spoken, and they shall dwell in the cities of Israel. And they that dwell in the cities of Israel shall go forth, and shall set on fire, and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and the arrows, and the handstaves and the spears, and they shall burn them with fire 7 years. So that they shall take no wood out of the field, neither cut down any out of the forest. For they shall burn the weapons with fire, and they shall spoil those that spoiled them, and rob those that robbed them, saith the Most High Yahweh. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will give unto Gog a place there of graves in Israel, the valley of the passengers of the east of the sea. And it shall stop the noses of the passengers. They shall bury Gog in all his multitude, and they shall call it the valley of Hamon-Gog. And 7 months shall the house of Israel be burying them, that they may cleanse the land. Yea, all the people of the land shall bury them, and it shall be to them a renown the day that I shall be glorified, saith the Most High Yahweh. And they shall sever out men of continual employment, passing through the land, to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth, to cleanse it. After the end of 7 months shall they search. So, there's going to be a slaughter, a war. People are going to die that fight against the city. First resurrection. We're living at that time. You're seeing it. You're seeing the people that are going to be involved with it right now. A lot of them are going to die. Some of the older ones are going to die. But you're seeing a lot of them that are going to be involved with what we're reading about right now. And of course, among us, people that are among us that are going to be sealed, that are going to be alive. Some of us will be put to sleep and resurrected. But a lot of us, there are some younger ones that are going to be around when this all breaks off. They're going to be here. It's coming very shortly, brothers and sisters. We don't have much time left. I say unto you, we don't have much time left before it comes. This is 2019. I'm telling you, I think it's going to happen within the next 12 years. Though it could stretch a little further, I think it's going to happen within the next 12 years myself. The next 12 years. Ezekiel chapter 39 from verse 15. You know, 12 years is not a long time. 12 years is not a long time. It's a very short time. Very short. Very short. It's coming quickly. Okay? Coming quickly. So Ezekiel chapter 39 from verse 15. Again, he's going to mention the feathered fowls from verse 15 down to verse 19. Again, what he mentioned again in Revelation 19, he's going to mention here. And what he mentioned also in Zechariah 14, he's going to mention here. And the passengers that pass through the land, when any seeth a man's bone, then shall he set up a sign by it till the buriers have buried it in the valley of Hamon-Gog. And also the name of the city shall be Hamona. Thus shall they cleanse the land. And thou, son of man, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, speak unto every feathered fowl, and to every beast of the field, assemble yourselves and come. Gather yourselves on every side to my sacrifice that I do sacrifice for you, even a great sacrifice upon the mountains of Israel, that ye may eat the flesh and drink blood. Ye shall eat the flesh of the mighty and drink the blood of the princes of the earth, of rams, of lambs, of goats, of bullocks, all of them fatlings of Bashan. And ye shall eat fat till ye be full, and drink blood till ye be drunken, of my sacrifice, which I have sacrificed for you. So you can see, brothers and sisters, against the same imagery. There's a war. And here in 39, you're not seeing a lot about the actual battle. You're seeing the end of it. Like you're seeing like its completeness in terms of the dead. Whereas in Revelation chapter 19, you're actually seeing the armies being gathered together. And then in Zechariah 39, you're seeing the earthquake and you're seeing the results of it there as well. So you're seeing the same thing in 3 different prophets. Okay? Same thing. First resurrection. First resurrection. Ezekiel chapter 39. Now we're going to talk more about the heathen that are going to be redeemed. The heathen that are going to be redeemed. here, Ezekiel chapter 39, from verse 20 down to verse 25. Ezekiel 39, 20 to 25. Notice what it says. Thus ye shall be filled at my table with horses and chariots. Talking about the birds. With mighty men and with all the men of war, saith the Most High Yahweh. And I will set my glory among the heathen. See, I will set my glory among the heathen. And all the heathen shall see my judgment. See, if they're going to see it, that means they're going to survive it. These are people that are going to survive. The sixth part that are going to survive. The glory of the nations that enter into the New Jerusalem that will survive. And I will set my glory among the heathen, and all the heathen shall see my judgment that I have executed in my hand that I have laid upon them. So the house of Israel shall know that I am Yahweh their Most High from that day and forward. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. Therefore hid I my face from them, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword. According to their uncleanness, according to their transgressions, have I done unto them, and hid my face from them. Therefore thus saith the Most High Yahweh, I will now will I bring again the captivity of Jacob, and have mercy upon the whole house of Israel, and will be jealous for my holy name. See, he has to explain it, because now there's been so much deception in the air over thousands of years. And people have received, these people that are alive, have received the message of the 144,000. Though, and this is the thing, brothers and sisters, and this is, I always say this, and this is the truth. We receive truth by a sincere heart with conviction. That's how we receive the truth. We receive the truth because we have a sincere heart that wants to know the truth, and our hearts are convicted by the Father's Spirit of truth. That's how we receive it. And yes, we study the word, and yes, we gain knowledge of it, but it is the conviction of the Father's Spirit that causes a human being to surrender to the truth. And so what will happen when the 144,000 bring forth a message? There'll be people, of course, Israelites will hear the call and come, those that will be redeemed. And there'll be heathen that may not quite understand it all, but they'll be convicted. And they'll know what their fathers have done in terms of killing black people and mistreating them and exploiting them. They'll know that, and they will have surrendered to the message of the Father. And after they are redeemed, the sixth part of it, the Father will explain to them who we are and why we are and why everything happened the way it happened. And they will understand. And we will understand. Praise the Most High Yah. Let's continue. Let's finish the chapter. Ezekiel chapter 39, from verse 26 to 29. And it says, after that they have borne their shame, that is the children of Israel, they have borne their shame, and all their trespasses whereby they have trespassed against me, when they dwelt safely in their land, and none made them afraid, when I have brought them again from the people, and gathered them out of their enemies' lands, and am sanctified in them, in the sight of many nations, then shall they know that I am Yahweh their Most High, which have caused them to be led into captivity among the heathen, but I have gathered them unto their own land, and have left none of them any more there. Neither will I hide my face any more from them, for I have poured out my spirit upon the house of Israel, saith the Most High Yahweh. See? So he's already doing this. He's gathering his chosen. He's awakening us. It's already underway. Heathen are being convicted as well, and some of them are standing forward to take a stand for the truth of the Israelite nation, the true Israelite nation. And when it's all said and done, once the battles are over and the people are dead and that first resurrection has taken place, everybody will have a clear understanding of why everything happened the way it happened in the last 6,000 years of Earth's history. Everybody will have a clear understanding of who the children of Israel are and why they are, and who the heathen are and why they are. Everybody will have a clear understanding, and everyone will be satisfied with what the Most High shows. And the kingdom will be established. This is the first resurrection. And 1,000 years, Messiah will reign until the second resurrection. Now, we will discuss the second resurrection as we look at chapter 38. That will be tomorrow morning. Well, some of y'all won't be up, but we're going to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. And I'm going to do this study, 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern. I know some of y'all won't be awake. It's okay. It doesn't matter to me if you hear me, though I love you being here. Hopefully, I will be able to upload it on the... yes, it will be open at 6 a.m. It will be open at 6 a.m. And hopefully, I'll be able to upload it until I'm finished. I got to leave at 9. I'm looking to be done by, say, 7:30 in the morning, like I am normally, with an hour and a half, something like that.